Well, another instrument we can use for the measurement and the comparison is what we call it the micrometers. In front of me, I have different types of the micrometers. Some of them can be used for the direct measurements, as what we have in the case of the calibers, and the others are going to be just used for the comparison purposes. Now, I will start with the general micrometers, which is going to be this one. So in this general micrometers, you can see that this will be digital. I think that the battery is quite dead. Anyway, I need to check first the calibration of this one. So it should give me the reading of 0 if I get to close it. If not, I need to press for the set the 0 by pressing that. The one in the middle. Now I set it to 0, and now as again to open it, the reading is going to increase. Oh, by the way, I can set the 0 at any time, at any position, sorry. So if I'm going to put it, for example, at the 40 sharp, or sorry, 4 sharp, 4 millimeter, or let's take it up to 5. So if I'm going to take it to 5 by rolling that, sorry, I need to do that slowly. Okay. And you can see that the small handle is going to be for more accurate. So I can set that to 0. Now, that means when I set that to 0, I'm going to use the device for the comparison instead of the direct measurement. So, for example, my standard part is going to have 5 millimeter plus minus 0.2 millimeters in the thickness. So whenever I'm going to put the parts here, if it's going to have a positive value here, that means I have plus 5, plus 5 plus 0.2, for example, we're going to be within 0.2. If I'm going to have 4.85 here, sorry, 0.98, that means I'm going to have the negative value. So this will be the case of using the calimeters. Usually we have the measurements here in millimeter in the digital one, but most of the device has been based on the inches. So the full opening of that is going to be 1 inch, which is going to be here. Well, so let's set that 1 to 0 back once again, which is going to be 25.6 millimeters. So if I get to set that to 0, and I'll try to open that all the way up, should be stopped at the 26.4 millimeters, which is the 1 inches. Okay, so it's still opening. The process is slow because this to increase the accuracy of the reading as we go. Now is 21, 22, 23, 25. Yep. So, well, actually, it's going above that. Yeah, but well, because you can see that we already passed that. 27 millimeters, which is almost 1 inch. The inch is 25.4 millimeters, and these are the standards of the things. So, in the actual readings, here we're going to have the millimeter reading if I don't want to use the digital one, and here we are going to have the 100th of the millimeters reading by once again comparing. The full circle is going to be full millimeters, and part of it is going to be 100th of the millimeters, and the reading is going to be actually quite tricky. This is 0, then it's going to go back, and the full thing is going to be equal to 1 full millimeters by 100th. That's the work of the micrometers, and let's try to measure something. If you take a look to this micrometer, you can see that the head is flat, and this will be suitable if I'm going to check the flat surfaces like the block again I measured earlier, the one that I think it was this one, or anyway, I'm going to measure this one, and I'm going to check what will be the thickness by putting the parts in the middle and use it. Now you can see actually it's going to be too hard to use 2 hands with the micrometers. So to avoid that, we have this holder. If I'm going to put the device in this holder and I'm going to lock the thing, okay, now it's going to be much easier for me to use my 2 hand and the micrometer. So I'm going to put the parts in, and I going to close it. We usually don't want pressure, and then I can take the reading directly from there, which is going to be 20.031 millimeters. So it's gave me in thousands of millimeters, while here it can read only in the hundredth of the millimeter. So the digital is going to be more accurate because it's going to give you a wider range of the measurement for my parts. Okay, so that's as simple as it is. Now let's check another type of the micrometers. If I try to use this flathead to read, for example, the diameter, the wall thickness, you can see that this wall doesn't have flat surfaces. It's going to be curved one. So basically, if I can try to put it here and read what will be the thickness of the wall, okay. Now it's giving, for example, the thickness of this wall is 2.56 millimeters. Now I would like to check if that's correct or not. Maybe, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see that the flathead is going to be floating in the middle from the inside and floating from the sides at the outside. So that means it doesn't read actually the actual wall thickness. So to overcome this problem, they made another type of the micrometers, which is going to have a rounded head. This rounded head, or the ball nose, is going to be able to check the thickness of the wall, of the rounded wall, simply because it's going to check the distance between the top of the circle and the other top of the circle, because that's what's going to be fixed between the two sides of the calibers we have for the micrometer. Okay, now if I again to check that, well, I didn't start the thing yet. Anyway, you can see that what we are going to have here is going to be that the top tip facing the other tip from the other side, and this will simply going to give me the correct reading of the wall thickness. Now let's calibrate the device. I hope that the battery is still working after a whole year. So we're going to, what is it, on, off, hold? Yeah, I think that the battery is dead. Anyway, so the battery is dead, so let's try to read the things by using the micrometers readings. Well, without my glasses, it's going to be too hard to be doing that. I can see actually that this reading is going to be in, is that millimeters? No, it's in inches. So actually I'm not that good in reading all the inches. So that every part is going to be 8 of the inches, and we're going to add the 100 of the inches from the side here to do the reading. But the reading here, the battery is not in anyway. Yeah, the reading here is going to give you same thing, the millimeters and the thousands of the millimeters of the reading for this part. So the second type of the micrometers we have is the ball nose. Now let's check another